All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Connecting to Pack. Today, I'm joined by two French students who are currently studying at NC State University. First, we have Romane Guibert. Is that the right way?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so Romane is studied in France as well as South Africa, but now she's doing a semester or perhaps a year, full academic year here at NC State. In addition to Romane, we have Lenah Simon, or Simone, I guess, in French. So Lenah had a similar experience. She studied in France for a while, then she moved to South Africa, and now she is studying at NC State University as part of the Schema program. Without further ado, ladies, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
So it's interesting that you both experienced something similar in a way. You spent some time in France, then moved to South Africa, and now you're in Raleigh. What a mobility period.
Yeah,
yeah. So what would you say is the kind of what motivated you both to go to South Africa to pursue perhaps a semester or an academic year, and then show up here to the United States? I'm sure you had different reasons. I'm sure even though your experiences were somewhat similar, I'm sure there's a little bit of nuance involved. So maybe we can start with you, Lenah.
Sure.
How did that start?
To be honest, it was a bit like mandatory for the Schema program to go abroad.
Okay.
So yes, as you said, we have different reasons for going abroad, Roman and I. We didn't know each other before going to South Africa, and we decided to go there because it's really beautiful and Schema has a campus there.
Mm.
So that was the main reason, and then we decided to move to the United States to improve our English and to discover a new culture, very different from France and South Africa. So yeah.
Interesting. Is that something that resonates with you, Romane?
Yeah, completely. But I have a quite different experience because at the beginning, I wasn't supposed to go to South Africa. I had been accepted in Guadalajara in Mexico.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I changed my mind quite rapidly, quite quickly. And I changed my mind to go to South Africa because it was a campus, there was more people. And as a first experience, I felt like it was more secure for me to go there. Mm-hmm. And I had some friends that were there. Like my roommate. And then, yes, we came to Raleigh. We were supposed to do only one semester, only the fall semester. Yeah. And we enjoyed it. So we both decided to stay here for one more semester.
Nice.
And finish our studies here.
So you technically did not know each other prior to South Africa. You only knew each other when you went to South Africa.
Yeah, we knew each other, but we were not friends. We began to be really, really good friends in South Africa.
Oh, and how did that start? That friendship start?
Well, pretty easily because we had the same house, so we just shared a lot of moments together, and we realized that we were a lot more friends than we thought. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was mainly it. And I was not supposed to go to Raleigh, and I became close with Romaine and her roommates, and they convinced me to come here.
Nice.
And I liked it a lot, so I decided to stay with her.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, the fact that you found yourselves sharing so many things in common in South Africa that you probably didn't know about before South Africa.
Exactly.
Wow. So where exactly did you go in South Africa? In Johannesburg?
No, it was Stellenbosch City. It's 1 hour from the Cape Town.
Cape Town. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
So West Coast. In the West, yeah.
And were you being taught in French at that time?
No, English.
No. Oh, wow. Yeah. So because it surprised me when you said you wanted to show up to the States to improve the English, even in France, not in France, sorry, South Africa, you were being taught in English. I mean,
yeah, we were taught in English, and many people spoke English there. But we really wanted to have like the American way of teaching and way of learning English, because we had like courses in English we have been having courses in English for I think 3 years now.
3 years.
Even in France, yeah.
Wow.
But we wanted to have like the American way of teaching and way of speaking. So yeah.
Nice. So when in South Africa, you both spent a year or semester?
No, a semester.
Oh,
And
just a semester.
that's part of the idea to come to America after, because one semester is quite short, and to learn English and practice it and have it anchored, it was beneficial for us to go to the United States after.
Right. What did you both like most about South Africa? We can start with Romane.
Oh my God, that's such a hard question because there was a lot of things that we liked. I think in Stellenbosch we were surrounded by mountains, and so it was
Oh.
such a beautiful landscape. So yeah, the landscape in South Africa. We have done a lot of trips, safari. I have such pretty memories and with
Yeah.
friends. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So you would probably say the same thing, Lenah, right?
Yeah, I would say the same. There are two things that I liked a lot. First, the landscapes and the animals that we saw there.
Oh.
That was amazing. And the second one would be people there.
Mhm.
South Africans people are really, really nice, and I like them a lot. So that would be the two things that I think about.
Yeah. Did they have any funny stereotypes about the French in South
Yeah,
Africa?
yeah, they have a lot, and I think they're right. They talk to us about all the strikes that we've been going on in France, and they are right. That was the main stereotype they have, I think. Romain, I don't know if you have.
maybe one other concerning the parties. We in France used to party quite late,
Yeah.
and in South Africa, as here, clubs and bars used to close at 2 in the morning. And usually in France, it's more like 5, 6 in the morning.
Wow.
So people know about that in
That's
South
wild.
Africa.
Yeah.
That is so wild. Now, speaking of protests, and I don't want to digress a little bit. Did you guys ever partake in any of those strikes?
No.
No.
Okay. All right, because that's something that I think not just South Africa that they probably say is like typical in France,
Yeah.
but I think even other countries say, oh yeah, and the French they usually go on strikes. But yeah, I don't. That's very interesting. So you spent semester in South Africa, and during that time, was that your first experiences outside of France?
Yes.
Oh wow, that must have been hard.
Yeah, it was quite difficult to leave the country and the family. But once we were there, like we discovered a lot of things, and we were well surrounded. Like I had a lot of friends. I met some people there. So yeah, that was reassuring for me.
Yeah.
And for my part, as I was at the beginning used to going to Mexico, yes, it was a little bit threatening for me. So going to South Africa was way more exciting, and I was looking forward to it way more than being scared.
Yeah. What would you say the most memorable experience that you've had in South Africa? It could be.
I think we have the same.
Yeah, we have the
Oh boy, here we go. Which one would probably take the leap and share this one?
We went to the Kruger Park, yes, in South Africa.
Okay.
And it's somewhere you take your car and you do a safari in the park.
Yeah.
And so you see a lot of animals. We were there like with friends for 5 days, I think.
Yeah, 5 days.
5
5 days. And we saw a lot of animals, and it lasted long, and we had time to enjoy it and to understand how we were lucky to be here.
Oh wow.
Like, it
Yeah,
was
we
amazing.
felt really lucky. That was the first time that I felt so lucky in my life. That was amazing, and we shared a lot of moments that I couldn't share with anyone else, I think, in my future life. So yeah, that was amazing, and we discovered even on ourselves some things that we didn't think about. Like it was really wild, and we were used to cities and everything. So yeah, that was interesting.
Wow. So you guys were embedded in the wilderness.
Yeah, and it was quite exciting to try to see animals in the wild, and we were like, oh, is this a lion or is this a rock? We never knew.
That's so funny. So, okay, we talked about what was memorable. What is shocking about
There
South
are
Africa?
some things that were shocking. I think difference between white people and black people, because we were in a city where it was quite rich and quite European.
Mhm.
Then when we got out of Stellenbosch, we could see like the real separation between both populations, and it was quite threatening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
you
w-
guys didn't know about that before? You were...
we were aware of it, but like to see the differences and everything, we're not used to it in France.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that was the main difference that shocked us, especially in Stellenbosch, because as she said, this is a rich city, and so we didn't think about it. And then we went out to the airport or something, and we saw a lot of townships. So that was really sad for us, I think.
Wow. I didn't know that there was that element of segregation in South
Yeah.
Africa still, because
Yeah.
the apartheid regime sort of ended like
Yeah.
decades ago.
But there is always the leftovers,
Mm.
and it's quite visible. So
Wow.
yeah, it comes to
Yeah.
your
And
eyes.
I think about a second thing that shocked us. It was the load sheddings.
Load sheddings?
Yeah, it's called load sheddings there. It's kind of a cut in electricity every day you have it.
Oh.
It's like 2 hours or 4 hours, 2 or 3 times in a day, and you don't have electricity, so you have an app on your phone that tells you it's gonna happen, and then you just do without electricity for a bit. So during the summer that was okay because we have the light and everything, but during the winter it was hard.
And
Whoa.
it was hard also for the fridge, because food, when you have 4 hours without electricity, it can go bad quite quickly.
That's right. That's right. Well, I've experienced some of that in Lebanon and Libya, the power cuts. So I'm sure maybe, yeah, I mean, that is something that would certainly shock a lot of people when I tell them,
Yeah.
hey, I've experienced power cuts before. But I didn't know, I mean, was that across the entire country, South Africa, or just in your, where you guys were studying?
No,
No,
it's in the entire
everywhere.
country.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So did you know about that before you came, or you went to South Africa and realized, well, there we go.
I think we might have some feedback before, but we didn't think it was that wide.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the year we went to South Africa, it was the worst for years.
Mhm.
So we were not expecting such numerous cuts.
Oh my, oh my. When you experienced those cuts, what did you usually do?
Our owners gave us some lights
Yeah.
that we could on batteries, so we could use it.
Oh yeah.
And mainly we couldn't charge our batteries, so we did it like before. We had to anticipate,
Wow.
and mainly we were in the dark, but doing our own lights.
And did you have generators by any chance, or?
No.
Not us, but
Mm.
people have some
Some
other
people had,
have.
but not us.
Oh wow. Even the campus, like Scamus campus.
The campus
didn't,
had.
They had, yeah.
Okay, well that's good. That's awesome. Well, that must have been a new, like, whole different world
Yeah.
then for you
Yeah.
two.
It was quite surprising.
Wow. So the transition to the sort of U.S., did you feel like you sort of maybe missed that time in South Africa? How did that feel to go like from South Africa straight to the U.S. without going to France, returning?
We returned during the summer between South Africa and Raleigh. But for my part, I enjoyed a lot South Africa, and I was a little bit scared to not enjoy that much in the United States. But it was not the case at all. We met a lot of people, good friends, the city, the culture, Americans. I loved all of that, and that's why we chose to stay one more semester. So
Yeah.
I think it gives a good idea.
Interesting. So that would be similar to. So I think Lenah would probably say the same about how that sort of story unfolded about
Yeah,
realizing
exactly.
that you wanted to extend your stay here.
Yeah, exactly. We were aware that the United States wouldn't be the same as South Africa. So yeah, we tried not to compare when arriving here.
Hmm.
And we were lucky, like we met good friends, and we really like American culture. So yeah, that was not a problem once we arrived. But yeah, before we were quite scary of it.
Yeah. So would you say there are no power cuts here, thank God?
Yeah.
But there must have been something about maybe the culture so far that may have, probably not much of a shock. It probably isn't much of a shock, but maybe something that kind of stands out?
Yeah,
What would
we
you
had
say?
good surprises.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So surprise, is that the French?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with the first surprise, Lenah.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I noticed when arriving here is that people are really welcoming us. They're really nice in the street and everything. They just come to you and say that you have a beautiful outfit. In the bus, the drivers just say hello,
Oh, yeah.
which is not the case usually in France. You say thank you when you leave the bus. So that was the main thing, I think. People are really nice, and I really like American people. And
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
And for my part, I will say sports in the university.
sports.
Yeah, we heard about it obviously before, but seeing it it's really a religion here. Universities battle all the year in different kind of sports. Also, sports facilities. Everyone have access to Carmichael gym.
Oh yeah.
There is really this sport religion here, and we like a lot. We have been to so much sports representation. We have been to American football, volleyball, basketball, gymnastics.
Wow.
yeah, that's mainly it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But that is a lot. I mean, compared to France, I would imagine it's mostly soccer in France, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
tennis.
And tennis. Okay.
Yeah, she likes tennis.
Oh wow. Is there a heavy emphasis on tennis here, or
No, not
no?
that much.
Okay.
And I would ask you, what is the main thing that surprised you when you came to the US? Because we have a different
Oh
country
yeah.
of origin.
That's very much true. So I mean, I came here. First experience was 2 years ago. Well, it was in late 2021, so somewhat, slightly more than 2 years ago. But I think one of the things that truly stood out was the food portions. Like when you go to a restaurant,
you're right.
like everything is just X large, big size. You know, even the small size for us is would be considered medium. For, you know,
Yeah.
so and probably that would explain a lot why there's like a sort of obesity epidemic in the States. But that truly stood out to me. And I was also very much surprised when I would go to the dining hall and I would notice that most of the students would would eat pizza or burger for lunch or whatever. And it's like there is somewhat of a lack of understanding of nutritional value and what is proper nutrition and things of that nature. So those things were truly stood out to me because I'm not used to eating like a pizza every day or a burger or fries every day. That's just hard to actually, like, it upsets my stomach and I don't feel well. And I like to stay focused, and eat something that is somewhat healthy. I don't claim to be an expert on nutrition or health, but yeah.
No, I agree. I was surprised too by the food and also by the soda, the drinks.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, they you have to you can refill your soda if you want.
That's
So,
true.
yeah, that's surprising because we're not used to it. I think like the food.
Yeah.
And we have had the experience also with the portions. We went to the cinema with Lenah and another friend, and we wanted to take popcorns.
Mhm.
And there was like 2 portions, and we thought like the little one will not be enough for 3, so we took the big one, and it was like a huge bucket of buttered popcorn.
Oh my God. I've had this experience with pizza. Like my
yeah.
friends, we were 4 and we went to, I think, Papa John's, or I don't know what restaurant it was. And we thought about getting something like, I think we wanted like 2 medium pizzas or something that would be enough for the 4 of us. But we ended up having so many leftovers. It was like, oh my gosh, this is so big,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there is this just excess in terms of size, and I'm talking about food portions here, not the people. But yeah, I don't get it. Like it's a different type of it's a different culture. But I'm sure even in France the food portions are small.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it depends on where you go.
Oh.
But yeah, thinner than here.
Yeah, okay. I think speaking of food, I love the macaroons or macaron or whatever it is.
Macaron.
Yeah,
not
macaron.
yeah this thing with sweet sort of colorful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you guys miss that sort of lifestyle, the food and the French sort of culture whilst you're here?
Yeah, we miss so much cheese and ham, bread,
Oh,
like
yeah.
typical French things.
Yeah, I think we can have it in the store here if we want, but it's so expensive.
Oh,
Yeah, compared to France. So yeah, when we came back in December to spend Christmas with our families, we ate a lot of cheese and everything.
okay.
Yeah, we miss that a lot, but I think we kind of used to eat the American food now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we managed to enjoy it now.
Yeah.
Okay. You're adapting slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I remember one of my flatmates was French. He did a semester year. He was also part of the schema program, and he said that I think tuna wasn't as good as the tuna in France. Yeah, for
I
some
didn't
reason.
notice.
No.
Okay.
when we arrived in the United States, she tried to buy some tuna, and
Uh-huh.
she misunderstood the box, and she bought tuno, and it
Tuna?
was like I think vegan or
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know what.
vegetarian.
Oh no. That's false advertising.
Thank you,
Okay.
Romane, for this story.
Wow, that's yeah. So it was called Tuno, not
Tuno,
tuna?
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was written tuna, and I didn't remember it was tuna, so I just bought it, and then I was surprised because it was not tuna.
The smell
Wow.
was weird.
Okay, well that was a sign. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've had something. Yeah, I don't know if I experienced something similar, but certainly there are a lot of. I love that when you walk into the supermarket, like the first thing you see are the baked goods. You
Yeah.
know? Like you see all the the I don't know, like the brownies, the muffins, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like you first walk in,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's
that's
in
true.
the
I didn't notice. But
The
you're
donuts
right.
and-
yeah, the
yeah.
entrance is like
Yeah.
all of the goodies. You know, I don't know.
that's true.
Is that something that's also similar in France or?
I don't think so.
No, we have eyes that are ordered in terms of food. So if you are searching for muffins, you will go to
Yeah.
Oh.
bread.
Okay, the
Yeah.
Yeah,
bakery.
yeah.
Exactly. And I think here, one thing that I noticed during the Halloween or Christmas,
Mm.
and they really like to sell things for this kind of events, even in stores. Like you enter a store and you have everything for Halloween. So you just have masks and
Oh, yeah.
pumpkins, and in France it's less than that.
Especially for Halloween. Halloween
Oh.
here is a region.
Yeah, it's a really
and
big
in-
thing. In
yeah.
France, no.
Oh, yeah.
That was funny to be here.
Yeah.
It's
during
interesting.
Halloween.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
I really enjoy that season, especially when you go to like supermarket. All this stuff, like you said, is just Halloween themed, and you know you've got people just get so creative with their costumes. I remember this Halloween, I was dressed up as like a professor. Well, I tried to look like a professor with like a tie, shirt, and like pants and shoes, but people thought that I looked like a pastor. So everyone was like, "Oh, so you're a pastor?" Like a youth minister of some sort. Like I had a green tie, white shirt, and like, it was funny. But I don't know. I got a little bit creative, I guess.
Next year, maybe.
Yeah, no, that was
You
really
was dressed up anyway, so being a pastor or a professor, you were a costume. So
Oh, yeah, there you go. What did you guys ever do that here? Like dressed up, and did you attend a Halloween party or?
yeah, we dressed up for Halloween in fall semester.
Okay.
We tried to go to frat parties with costumes, but there is something I don't get, because for me, Halloween is supposed to be scary, but
Mhm.
people can dress up like as things not scary, like professor.
True.
It's not scary.
True. Yeah, there's a shift that I don't understand either. Well, that must be something else that's sort of different from the school in France, right? 'Cause fraternities and sororities.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
have it.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, what do you think you guys have that they don't?
Oof.
Like especially in a college.
I have no idea.
No, me neither. I can think about it.
Maybe student
Uh,
organization
Oh,
in
Yeah,
business schools.
we have a lot here. You have a lot of sports organizations for students to just group and meet up. In France, we have a lot of organization, whether regarding wines. You can join if you like wines. You can join if you like music. So
Oh.
yeah,
If you like surf, there are a
Yeah.
huge panel of organization.
like a wine tasting club.
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
I was
wow.
in.
yeah. She was in. That's what I said about.
Wow. So you go places and you taste wine and
Basically, we were in the year of COVID, so we
oh,
didn't do so much things, but we mainly organized some tastings for students, and sometimes it was open for people that were not in schema.
interesting.
Yeah.
So I want to maybe shift back a little bit to the experience of travel. Do you feel like you learned a lot from this sort of being in South Africa, now in the U.S., especially, I mean, at this age? I mean, I'm sure maybe you've had travel experience before, but do you feel like these are significant moments of this sort of educational journey that you were in?
Yeah, I think this was our first long-term trips,
Mm.
and we learned a lot on ourselves. And I think the fact that we um, went on trips at our ages, so like 22 and 24,
Yeah.
we have the maturity to think about ourselves, what we learned, and we did a lot of that. With Lenah, we talk a lot, and we managed to um, have out of it the best.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very good. Do you agree, Lee?
Yeah, I would say that this is the perfect age for doing this kind of travels, and I encourage everybody to do so. For me, it was a bit different from Romane because I was a bit afraid of leaving my family and my country.
Mm.
So yeah, that brings a lot to me because now I'm able to do things independent. I'm more independent, sorry, and I know that I'm able to go abroad, and that was not easy for me.
Mm.
So yeah, that was the perfect age because before I was too young, and I think after it will be too late.
Right.
Yeah, that was the perfect timing, I think. And we went alone, and that's different from going in holidays with your family.
That's right.
Like you're just yourself, and you're more open-minded because you have no choice to be. And then yeah, this is a wonderful experience.
And it's a year and a half, a whole year and a half abroad. So you gain a lot of self-confidence by doing so.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
most certainly. And do you believe that there would be another journey that you have to go through abroad or back to France
This is
after?
unfortunately the end. Regarding studies, maybe in our professional life we'll go abroad, but we graduate at the end of this spring.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So
this
you're
is the end.
seniors.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. I didn't know that. I'm interviewing you and I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're going to work in France.
Yeah.
Wow. So so you're trying to make the best out of this final part of
Exactly.
the sort of undergraduate journey. That's incredible. So when do you guys finish studying at Schema? Like, is it in May or April or?
The classes end at the end of April,
Oh yeah.
but then we have to do a final internship to have our diploma.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So it must have been such a different sort of system altogether, because I'm sure like in the French system you guys have the 20 scale, right? 13 out of 20. Like now here we have the GPA
Yeah.
percentage and 4.0 scale. Yeah, that's
And American teacher grade a lot more easier than in France. Like people are more kind. In France, professors are like strict, and you have a lot of 12 out of 20. Here, it's not the case. You have like a good grade.
right. So since we're starting to wrap things up, here's my final question that I'm sure you two have definitely maybe you've thought about before. Do you feel like now that you're approaching the sort of the end of journey in the U.S. and you're returning back to France, do you think you would find yourself in a like a reverse cultural shock of some sort, or do you feel like it's become so easy to transition from one place to the next without?
It will not be easy. Yeah, I enjoyed that much that I am so afraid to come back to France.
Wow.
Yeah, I think even when between South Africa and the United States, the 2 months of summer we spent in France, it was kind of hard to land back and get back your what you're used to do in France.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, Lenah?
I would say that the transition between South Africa and France was difficult for me because French people are different. But now I'm prepared to go back to France, and I want to go back to France because I miss it a bit. So yeah, that's not a problem for me. But yeah, there will be a lot of changes for us in terms of just the language. Like everyone speaks French in France, so here we can speak together and nobody hears us.
Right.
This is a huge difference.
Yeah.
This is funny, but this is a huge difference for us. And yeah, I'm quite excited to meet my friends in France, and even my friends here in Raleigh are going back to France.
Oh.
So yeah, that's not a problem for me to go back.
Nice. Well, it was a pleasure having you both here, and I really wish you all the best with the rest of your educational journey here in the U.S.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.